If you trust too much, you'll be disappointed. If you trust too little, you'll be alone. But if you're Thomas Shelby, you trust no one and win every war. Let me ask you this. When was the last time you regretted trusting someone? Not just disappointed, betrayed. Now imagine if you learned to never let it happen again. That's what Thomas Shelby did. And in today's world, maybe you should too. In this video, we're going deep, psychologically, emotionally, strategically, into why Thomas Shelby, the mastermind of Peaky Blinders, trusts no one. We'll uncover the psychological laws behind his choices, the traumas that shaped him, and what this means for you in business, relationships, and power. Let's begin with the roots of his mistrust. Segment 1, where it all started. Thomas Shelby came back from the war with more than scars. He came back a man with a plan and a wall around his mind. World War I didn't just steal his innocence, it taught him that the real world is brutal and trusting someone is a liability. I learned something in France. Never get too close to anyone. In psychology, this is known as hypervigilance, the constant low-level state of alertness that trauma survivors develop. People who've been betrayed or nearly killed, like soldiers, survivors, and, yes, even people in toxic relationships, often develop a radar for deception. Thomas Shelby's radar is always on. Segment 2, psychological law of distrust. One of the most dangerous things about highly intelligent people is they can see through social masks. Thomas doesn't trust anyone because he understands them too well. In dark psychology, this is called cognitive empathy, the ability to read others' emotions and motivations, not to connect, but to control. He watches, he listens, and most of all, he waits. People think I'm weak because I don't speak much. I watch everything. Here's the trick. If you speak too soon, people know what you want. If you stay quiet, they reveal their hands first. Thomas uses this as his superpower. And you can use this too, in meetings, negotiations, or even personal relationships. Observe more, speak less, be the mystery. Segment 3, who did he ever really trust? Let's count the people Thomas ever truly trusted. Grace betrayed him. Polly sometimes clashed with him. Arthur, emotionally unstable. Alfie Solomons, unpredictable and dangerous. What do they all have in common? None of them were fully trusted. Not even family. Not even love. This brings us to an important truth. You can love someone and still not trust them. In real life, we often confuse the two. Love feels safe, so we lower our guard. Thomas never makes that mistake. You can't trust a man until you know what he wants. Every time he gave someone a piece of his trust, it cost him. And so he adapted. He built alliances, not attachments. Segment 4, real-world parallels. In the corporate world, people play the same games, just without the guns. Jeff Bezos, Elon Musk, Steve Jobs. These aren't people who handed out trust easily. They understood power. They understood psychology. Trust is not given, it's tested. Let's take an example. In 2018, when Elon Musk accused a diver of being the pedo guy, whether you agree or not, the message was clear. Elon doesn't play by standard rules of social trust. He tests loyalty with chaos, just like Thomas Shelby. Want to know who's loyal? Start a fire and see who brings water and who brings gasoline. Segment 5, the silent power strategy. There's something about Thomas Shelby's silence that makes him terrifying. Psychologically, silence triggers uncertainty in the brain. We need to fill it. Most people ramble. Thomas listens. That's because silence is a dominance tactic. It's how predators work. Wolves don't bark until it's time to bite. When Thomas enters a room and doesn't say anything, everyone gets nervous. That's status energy, the ability to dominate a space without speaking. How can you develop that? Learn to be comfortable with pauses. Don't reveal emotions too quickly. Speak with intention, not out of reaction. Segment 6. Why you shouldn't trust easily either. Now let's talk about you. We live in a world of manipulation, ghosting, betrayal, hidden agendas, and fake smiles. Why would you trust easily? Here's the truth. You can be kind, but not naive. Thomas Shelby never gave away trust. People had to earn it. In your life, stop giving people the benefit of the doubt. Watch their patterns, actions over words. Test people's reactions when you're at your worst, not just your best. Because anyone can love you when you're glowing, but only the real ones stay when you're in the dark. I don't pay for suits. My suits are on the house, or the house burns down. Translation: if someone tries to exploit you, make sure they regret it. Ending final quote. Plus, call to action. Never give power to the big man. The big man always wants to crush you. The only person you should always trust is yourself. Take Thomas Shelby's path. Not because it's easy, but because in a world full of liars and manipulators, sometimes being the silent observer, the unreadable one, is the most dangerous and powerful place to be. And remember, trust is earned, loyalty is proven, and silence is a weapon.